But they are all in their seats here in the Rolex Stadium. We're ready to watch this valedictory ride. It's not a scored ride. The equestrian events, the organisers of the Rolex Kentucky 3-day event invited Allison to bring Arthur here after she, very sadly and very close to the event, ended up deciding that she was going to withdraw the horse. They actually discovered that he had a persistent arrhythmia in his heart.
And because aortic valve. I know it because my mom had the same thing. So, yeah, and in humans they do an aortic valve replacement, but they don't in horses. So he was regurgitating into his heart, and so it's time for him to not be out there on the cross country for 11.5 minutes. But he is going to entertain his fans today by doing a final dressage ride here at the Rolex Kentucky 3-day event.
So Allison, we worked so closely with her support team, particularly her veterinary advisors, to make what I have to say must have been a tough decision for her, because she and this horse have grown up together. You know, they started 44 FEI competitions, completed 38 of them.
It's a remarkable career. She should be incredibly proud.
Former USEF National 4-Star Championship holders in 2012 when they were the runners-up here at Rolex. Highest placed American pair, of course, taking that title. They've been on the US Olympic team shortlist and 6th at Burghley in Great Britain. And Allison and Arthur finished together 3rd on the 2012 Olympic year FEI World Rider Rankings.
Definitely a beautiful start to the test. Look at the movement that this horse still has at 18 years old. You know, we talked about some of the horses that just didn't have the movement. If they have it, they have it. And this horse had it right from the beginning. Allison's done a beautiful job developing this horse, showing lovely shoulder end, super bend around her leg, nice range of motion. And
she's been dressage leader here more than once at the 4-star level at a world-class event. I remember last September at the American Eventing Championships at Tryon, North Carolina. She was the far and away leader after dressage there as well, amongst the best in the US.
This is the horse in Allison's career that taught her how to win, and win consistently in the dressage. He's very flamboyant, he's quite a character. Very spooky as a young horse. So she has not only had to bring him along carefully, but he's a bit tricky, and he can become really spooky.
Well, she said that, and you know, it shows how much she's learned about producing him and therefore producing her other horses, because she said, oh, I find Arthur really difficult in the dressage, and no one can believe that because we so often ace it and lead after dressage. She said, you know, he's spooky, he's difficult. I have to manage and I have to get that right.
If you can see what he's got for a bit, you know, a lot of these horses have been very strong. He's got a little plastic nath bit in his mouth, which you can't have anything less hard in his mouth than a little nice piece of rubbery plastic in his mouth. That's it. So he has a very light touch to the mouth.
Yeah, Allison and Arthur, they've traveled the world together, competing at some of the very, very best events and being on that US high performance list. And as well as that, just like we said with Ballino Castle RM and Kathleen and Buck, you know, this is her great friend, probably one of her oldest friends.
Absolutely. I mean, you spend that kind of time with a horse, it's a remarkable relationship. And the crowd's getting into it. They really applauded her after that extended trot. We're all just having a bit of fun here watching this really wonderful partnership do their final tour in a competitive environment. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But because the decision to withdraw Arthur from the event and announce his retirement was taken so close to the event, this is, as much as we'll see of him here, this sort of valedictory test, and actually they'll have a formal retirement ceremony for Arthur later on in the season. So it certainly won't be the last time we'll see him in a big ring, but at some stage Allison's going to have to roll up the stirrups and take the saddle off and walk him out of the ring.
Yes, as it always happens, right? And a super change. I wish they were scoring it.
They got the parents on the kiss and cry today.
I know, for the first time ever.
Frankie was telling us that in all Allison's years here, her parents have never been on the Kiss and Cry before today because they didn't know they were allowed.
Which is the big platform where all the close people of the circle of the horse get to stand to have the best viewing of the test. And it's called the Kiss and Cry for a reason, isn't it?
Yeah, it's usually also jump all the jumps as well. When you see on Sunday everyone just twitching over each jump.
Twitching. Beautiful, stretchy circle. Yeah, and there's Mom and Dad. Very proud. Now we're winding up for the final 2 movements. Beautiful. I wish they were marking it so we'd know. Maybe the judges, they don't have it up on the Jumbotron, but maybe the judges are marking it anyway. Beautiful. Definitely enjoying herself.
Yeah, when it is this good, you do wish that, but when you come in for a valedictory, it's all about just enjoying this horse and rider that have done so much, particularly in this small white box at Rolex Kentucky, to cement their reputation, and we see it one last time. Allison Springer and Arthur, the recently retired 4-star horse and former Rolex USEF 4-star champion.
And she's getting a standing ovation from the crowd. I'm very happy for Allie and, of course, for Arthur.
So 13 years together, 2005 to 2017, 44 international starts, 38 completions, and countless wins and successes at the national level as well. High performance listed and Olympic shortlisted for the United States of America, and USEF national 4-star champion, finishing runner-up here at Kentucky. They've been well placed also at Burghley in Great Britain, and one of the highest ever results for a US rider in the year-end FEI World Rider Rankings when they finished 3rd in 2012.
We should also mention that this horse was bred by Michael Godfrey, and Michael Godfrey from New Jersey, and he also is a competitor here at the Rolex Kentucky 3-day event on other horses, including the Great Shannon and Winter's Tale.
Yeah, a very mature decision from a professional athlete. And great to have the opportunity to come here. Allison, who puts a lot back into the sport as well, as president of the Event Riders Association of North America.
Crowd is loving it.
Just going past the patrons tent here on the in-gate side of the Rolex Stadium. Allison Springer and Arthur. Amongst those at the in-gate, Vanessa Coleman, director of competition here, who helped make this happen. I know the team investigated some options, such as keeping Arthur's entry and then withdrawing him after the dressage, and they worked with Vanessa, and she said, no, look, let's give you a special spot. Let's give you last on Friday afternoon. We can really say a proper goodbye to Arthur.